Hello there, and welcome to the Disgustingly Healthy Relationship Podcast. I'm Lewis.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are your hosts.
Beautiful people, it's 2024. We are no longer settling for mediocre, toxic, and shitty relationships.
Instead, we are choosing healthy, secure, and conscious love.
Lewis and I are here to challenge and expand you on all fronts when it comes to healthy relationships.
So, if you're ready for unfiltered conversations
and massive impact,
then let's play. Hello, and welcome back to the show. Today, I am joined by myself. Sarah is actually away, and I said that I would do a solo episode this week. So that is what I'm doing. And I reached out to some of you on Instagram asking if you had any opinions or thoughts that you'd want a male perspective on. And I got a few replies, so I want to go through them before our usual stuff. I've also got a little Substack to go through, which I find is super hilarious when I was reading through it. So I thought I'd bring that to you too and share my thoughts. So we'll just jump straight into it, shall we? So I asked if you wanted a guy's opinion on anything, what would it be? So I got a couple of replies, like I said. And the first reply was, should my partner change nappies too? Now, a lot of these are from women, and absolutely, guys should should definitely contribute to anything involving a child. That's my thoughts. That's including changing dirty nappies too. Now, I've maybe changed about one or two nappies in my whole life, and that includes, I think it was my niece's Christmas time a couple of years ago when she was like fresh out the womb. And that was nasty enough. But I mean, you pick up dog poo. If you've got dogs, you pick up dog poo off the ground. It can't be any worse than that, right? Or am I just being super naive? I don't know. You guys tell me. Okay, second one. Why does it seem like men often aren't listening to you when you're talking to them? To be honest, we're quite active listeners, us men. So we can listen. We've got the innate ability to listen to you whilst doing something else, whilst also concentrating on something else. Now, I can't speak for all men out there, but I have this unique ability where Sarah's chatting to me and I'm, say, washing dishes or doing something helpful, and she turns around and says, "Were you even listening to me?" I was like, "Yep." I pick out 4 bits out of her story, and she thinks that I listened to her. And I did, for the most part. But yeah, we are listening to you. Sometimes it just doesn't go in, and sometimes it does. But yeah, we are listening to you. Don't worry. Guys, I got you. Okay, third question. Who should initiate sex? Now, if you've been in a relationship for quite a while, I think you should take onus of both of you initiating or taking turns of initiating sex. Now, in the early stages, say like the honeymoon phase, you're going to be wanting to rip each other's clothes off. But we all know the later a relationship goes on, it starts to dissipate a bit, and that's absolutely normal. So taking some responsibility to, first of all, have the conversation to say, hey, look, I'd like you to initiate sex a little bit more. Now, that's a big conversation to have, I feel, because people get quite awkward around sex and feel almost ashamed for asking for what they want in the bedroom. So I think overcoming that hurdle for a start will make everything, come into play and make everything a lot easier. So if you're out there thinking that your partner, isn't initiating, keep on isn't initiating, it doesn't initiate, and you feel like you're initiating all the time, then maybe it's time to have a conversation. But if you're super horny and you want to initiate, then make sure that you've got at least a heavy cue on how you go about initiating. Now, I've been at fault in the past for not actually picking up on the cues because they might have been so subtle. So yeah, make sure that's a bit of advice, I guess. Make sure that the cue is noticeable enough to, warrant jumping on top of and ripping clothes off. That's if you're not naked already. So my next one is, how's my form? My form's pretty good, not gonna lie. Um, I'm not even too sure what that entails, to be honest with you, but here you go. Those are some of the questions and replies I got. Not too many, but we are open and we are here to receiving anything. Now, like I said, we're going to move on to a Substack that I started reading. And the title says, Women, what are some questions you've always wanted to ask men, but were too embarrassed to ask? And one reply is, do you use the opening in your boxers or briefs to pee? Or do you just pull out, or you do you just pull down the top of your boxers and briefs? That little opening doesn't just seem that useful. Well, do you know what? You're actually right. Not a lot of guys, I don't think, use it. I definitely don't. I just pull my boxers down and pee. But yeah, have you seen the Friends episode? I think who is it? Phoebe that tucks a bit of lipstick into that little flap bit. Actually, most modern boxers don't actually have the flaps. I don't know. I don't know. Guys, help me out here. I just wear Calvin Kleins all the time, and they don't really have a flap. But yeah, anyway, that's me. Um, So one of the other questions is, how often do you really cry? Like, what actually makes you cry? Jesus Christ. I never let myself feel emotion before, and I think in the most as I've gotten older, I'm starting to really let go of that and like think of it as not think of it as a sign of weakness if you cry, which I previously did think, which is quite um kind of productive, I guess, bottling up all that emotion. But I think the last time I cried was it was only a couple of weeks ago. Me and Sarah were sat cuddling watching Fox and the Hound, and both of us were bobbling our eyes out. If you haven't seen that Disney film, honestly, go and watch it. You will cry. Sarah mentioned that in a podcast a couple of weeks ago as well. But yeah, honestly, that's the last time I cried, and I've cried before that. I cried when my parents got here. Like I've cried actually quite a lot this year, which is quite nice. It's quite lovely. When you use the toilet, does your weenie just hang into the toilet? Or do you rest on the seat? Or do you ever get poop splash on your weenie? Yeah, I get poop splash on my weenie. I'm not even gonna lie. And you can't like poo, you can't rest your willy on it because you're doing a pee and a poo at the same time, right? So you just like tuck it in. I don't know, you just like push it down, I guess, when you poo. And yeah, I've had a little poop splash on my willy before. It's not really nice, but whatever. Here's a good question. Do you ever worry about what your friends think of the attractiveness of your girlfriend slash wife? Like, are you ever worried that people you don't know find her good looking or judge you for being with her? Absolutely not. To be honest with you, that's coming from a place of insecurity on that person's part. I'm actually super, super proud that I'm with Sarah because she's absolutely gorgeous and amazing and everything that encompasses what I look for in someone. So I also don't really give a shit of the opinions of others because I chose Sarah. So, and whoever you are, I would not worry about that. I completely agree that there's some insecurities there that, maybe are need to be addressed, and we could definitely help you out with that. But I think it has been a trigger for some people in the past, being quite maybe not worried, but being apprehensive of the fact that you have a really attractive girlfriend, or you're just worried of the attractiveness of your partner or whoever you're seeing or you're dating. For some unknown reason, I think it comes from a self-worth and perspective. Like you almost feel too seen to be with this person because you yourself do not feel worthy that you can attract someone as beautiful as them. But I don't know, that's just me spitballing. Um, Here's another one. Someone probably already asked this, but is it hard and difficult to shave your balls? I'll tell you that right now. Yes. And I don't know why they're so like all about penises and balls in this little Substack, but um yeah, that's quite funny. Okay, here's another one. Do you guys appreciate a woman that makes the move, whether you're newly dating or married for years? Absolutely. Yeah, I think when a woman makes a move on a guy, No, it's super attractive for a lot of men out there. It's like the allure of being wanted is something else. So whenever a woman actually like asks, say for your number or comes up to you out of the blue and says hi and starts a conversation, like that is super attractive. And I don't think I haven't really heard of it happening much in my circle anyway. But yeah, if you're out there and you're dating and you're unsure, you see a cute guy out there or a cute girl out there, honestly, go up and just have the conversation. Like, who really cares? We're on a speck of dust floating around the world, floating in space, and within a week, no one's going to remember it anyway. So why not just go and shoot your shot? Can you feel our boobs when we hug? Absolutely, yeah. That's definitely a thing. Um, does a woman's height matter? What about weight? Is the urinals when they're a bit full, when they're all full and there's one left, is it awkward? Okay, so there's three things there. Does a woman's height matter? Honestly, it's all dependent on preference. Does a woman's weight matter? Absolutely not. Again, could be determined by preference. Is the urinals is using the urinals when they're full a bit awkward? Yeah. So say for example, there's three urinals, right, in a guy's bathroom, and someone makes an absolute power move and goes for the middle urinal. That's weird because you don't really want to go either side. That's kind of against bro code because you either go to the if they're all three, you either move to the left or the right, never to the middle. Okay, so at least two people can pee there. If there's, say, for example, you've got someone on the right and then someone in the middle, do you go up to that left one? You could stride up there with confidence and just jump into that one, but yeah, I think it can be quite awkward, but um, there you go. So here is a couple questions. How often do men want to be hugged? Does it feel clingy if a girl offers it every now and then? No, absolutely not. Guys love to be hugged and like proper hug, not just like an airy fairy like app hug. Like guys want you to come up and grab them. It would be the same as girls. Girls love it when, well, I can only presume that girls like it when guys go up and cuddle them quite hard. And you know, it's like a good hug, good strong hug, you know. But yeah, um, I think that'll do us for the Substack. I mean, I quite enjoyed reading some of that, and I can find some more if you're really interested. You can leave a note in the poll here. But yeah, there we go. What we'll do is we'll go into peak papaya, pineapple, and Sarah's added plums in there now as well, which is lovely. So my pit, I always say Pete. What the frickety frack? So my pit of the week was, I think, just being super tired and lethargic. Like a lot of people, well, people might know, might or might not know. I've started a full-time job. I'm still doing a personal training job and I'm online coaching. So I'm literally working from, I'm up in the morning at 4 a.m. and I'm not getting home until about 7:30 p.m. at night. So it's a long ass day, and I'm doing that at least four days a week. And my energy is quite zapped. Hence, this is another reason why Sarah and I have been a little lax on the podcast recently. Both of us are super busy doing other things, and we're struggling to actually find time and capacity. And I hate using time as an excuse, but capacity is probably the big one. Like both of us just are feeling a little bit uninspired at the moment. But that'll come back, and we've spoke about it, and we're going to really commit to doing more of these. So when we do have the energy, we're going to go all in. So, but for right now, we're just going to take it how it comes. So I think, yeah, being low on energy this week has just been my antithesis and my pit. But my peak of the week was when Sarah actually is going to come back. So she's been away for the week for about 4 days. And yeah, I'm just excited to have her back and embed ourselves in normal life and like really enjoying building a life with her. So yeah, I'm just excited to have her back. Papaya of the week. What is my papaya? I was in a $9 million house in Byron Bay and styled that last week. So that was amazing. It was like an old Airbnb on Ruskin Street. If you know where that is, if you know, you know, you know. Yeah, I was there this week, which was amazing. It was so cool. And yeah, it was so far out of my comfort zone, but it was really cool. So that was my papaya. So my pineapple, so my gratefuls. I'm grateful for Sarah just being the amazing person that she is. I'm grateful for, it's going to sound mundane, but actually having the capacity to go out and wear many hats. So I've got a boyfriend hat, I've got a personal training hat, I've got a class hat, so I teach classes. I've got online coaching hat. I've got a interior stylist hat. And I think managing all of these hats, I've actually got a social hat as well. So managing all of these hats, like it's can be quite a lot, but I feel like I'm divvying up my energy and my capacity quite well between all of them. Some of them could be lacking a little, but they sort of all even out. So I'm grateful that I've got the capacity to do that. And with the backing of Sarah and the untold support that she's given me and we give each other, that makes it that much easier. And I think my third one would be for the little dogs. They actually give us so much purpose and joy whenever we come home. And it's all about the dogs really for Sarah and I at the moment. And just embedding life with a new puppy has been really interesting, really fun. It's something new for me as an adult. I had dogs growing up, but having baby Finley has been really really good, really exciting, really fun, really challenging, but in a good way. Okay, so Plum. So my intention for the week. My intention is to start slowing down a bit and actually giving myself time to recover. And quite often, like I've just described, my working life at the moment is just through the roof, and actually taking the time out to maybe say no to things that will take my energy, and saying yes to things that don't require too much energy, but also like I still get some socializing in or whatever it may be. Just recovery, I think. Wear a Whoop as well. So my recovery has been terrible. So keeping on top of my recovery this week, I think, is the main thing for me. Now, it would be a weird moment of the week. However, Sarah isn't really here. So don't really have one for you this week, unfortunately. But I hope you've enjoyed this solo episode. Let us know what you think about us doing solo episodes. I know Sarah wants to do one herself soon too, so you can jump on that. If you like the Substack that I wrote, read, and got questions off of, then just let me know. If you've got any other questions at all, please feel free to get in touch. Peace and love.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you so bloody much. You are the best.
If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us on Apple or Spotify, whatever you prefer. And don't forget to check out the Instagram page at TDHR Podcast.
Information on how you can write your questions into us will also be in the show notes. Till next time. Mwah.